All right, so here's the beauty I told you about yesterday, or anybody out there potentially looking for a project. We don't sell projects very often. Matter of fact, if you look at our history over the last 18 years, I've almost only done parts. But every once in a while, you come across something that somebody started. This one we actually got at auction, and because of that, we paid a little bit more for it. And then you'd probably, well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe private owner would have been more. Somebody put a lot of work into it. Even comes a little bird poop on the seat there. Although that just happened, I'm sure, because these holes are pretty nice in here, so they'll wipe off. I'm just teasing you. But anyway, point is that it is a CJ7. I have a title for it. It came out of California. That obviously means something. The tub is beautiful. I mean, the tub alone, just for a parts, if we were to part this out, which there's probably no circumstance this is going to come to part. But a tub like this would be around $6 just on the tub. So, and they're really hard to get, CJ7 tubs. I don't even like listing prices on them because they go up every year because they're just getting harder and harder. You can get repops. Unfortunately, those aren't very quality. So to find like a clean tub like this, which was kind of the fail-safe if we bought it and it did have something in it that I didn't like, then I could always have gone that route. But nothing has come back. The only thing that sucked is the transporter smoked the hood on it. So somebody set up Willwood brakes. The wiring is in here for an engine. It probably had a straight 6 in it, would be my guess, because of the year. And then the suspension has been set up, shackle reversal. Frame, it looks, I mean, excellent shape, no rust there. They didn't paint the frame, which is, I thought, a little bit funny because they painted the cab, but I guess they probably didn't pull this when they did. They didn't do like a frame off restoration on it. They just painted the cab, and then we're getting ready to put a motor in it. And maybe they were going to repower it with something else. Oftentimes something like this gets a V8. Whether you want to stick with AMC, that's an option. Or if you want to go into Chevy, which is also probably something that most people would do just because of the pricing on them. So, but it's a beautiful Jeep, and as is, we're asking a pretty penny on it, but it doesn't need, other than a hood, which I have a hood that will come with it. It's obviously not painted orange, it's white. It's got brand new tires, wheels. Really, it's ready to rock. I mean, somebody could put a motor in it, tranny, transfer case, which we have those parts. We can get you if you decide you want to go that route. If we're going to restore, or, I shouldn't say restore, if we're going to put it back together and put it on the road ourselves, then we'll clearly go for top dollar on it, which I think we'll easily get. I sold something not even half as clean as this last summer, and it's just, they go for a good amount. So we did over 20 on that one. So clean CJ7s are extremely hard to get, and that's just the loan some of it. So, and this one, I'll have to look at the numbers, but you can tell a little bit by a dash. The fact that it has your RPMs over here, I believe this is, or this is a clock. I can't remember, this is kind of faded, but nope, your RPMs are here. Yeah, so clock over here. And then it's uncut, obviously, the dash is uncut down here. This is probably a Laredo trim. They didn't have these extra on this side. You usually have these dual gauges like this on the Laredos or Renegades or something other, but we'll run the numbers on it and see if that indeed is what it is, or if it just had a dash transplant. And it very well could have just had a dash transplant. So, but if you like this one at all, we're sitting at 12 right now on it. And again, that's the video is going to go up. I'll send it to you. Then I'm going to put it down because I usually don't like to advertise pricing or anything like that in our videos. It just doesn't make any sense, especially with things changing so much as far as pricing goes. Things like this just keep going up, 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 and up, and then we're kind of restricted to it later. But for now, that's where we're at on this one. Axles look good. They're wide tracks, obviously, for the year. Lockout hubs, 20 in the back. I don't know the gear ratio. If it had a 6 in it, it's probably got it's either 272 or 331. That's pretty common in these. As far as the 6 cylinders went on them. I mean, who knows? It could have had a 4-cylinder in it. Very not likely, again, because of the dash and some of the things I've seen on it, but it's possible. And if it did, it probably has a lower ratio. But we haven't even got into it that far. Literally, this thing showed up on a truck like 3 weeks ago, so 4 weeks ago, I think. right around the time we went to vacation. So that's that guy, Orange Beauty there, and that's kind of our shop colors, which is awesome. And then I have another one. I'm gonna walk down here for this one, and this will give us an opportunity to kind of see the yard anyway. So if I can cut this video right around here, I can just use this for our weekly update promo. So Jeremy here, 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com. You can view most of our parts. We're about 60% listed. We were about 80% the beginning of but right at the beginning of our busy season, which is where we're in now. We're coming to the tail end of that here. About another month and a half, maybe 2 months. We'll be wrapping up what we call our prime time season. And then we get a little bit slower, which allows us to take a break, not necessarily a vacation, but mainly get back into the things and clean up, do full inventories. We'll shoot for around 80 to 90% listings, meaning that this yard will be 80-90% completely listed, and get ready for next season and rinse and repeat. That's what we've been doing for 18 years, and so far that recipe has been pretty successful. We've grown, I mean, not just in footprint. I mean, we went from literally, no joke, 1,500 square feet when I first started, total yard and garage. So, well, technically out of my house before, but that was my official first garage. I was Highline 4x4. And then, of course, into 2014, we acquired Jeeps Unlimited, which didn't get the property, just got the business, and they leased us the property. It was about a quarter of an acre. And then, of course, in 2018, we were able to secure this guy, which is 7 acres. And we basically do mainly Jeeps. There's a couple diesels out here and whatnot, but it's mainly a Jeep yard and whatnot. So, and we do some other oddball things every once in a while. So, all right, I'm not gonna get you back there because the Jeep I'm actually going after is, I think, sitting in here maybe. I'll be right. You need me, Steve? Oh, you coming for me? Okay, give me just a second. All right, so here's the blue one. This one just came in 2 days ago. And she's a beauty as well. She actually runs and drives and appears to be pretty much rust free. There's a little bit of surface, but nothing rot that we can see. We had it up in the air yesterday. This one, again, is probably one we'll just sell. This is a good time of year to have these. So it's pretty much bone stock other than the lift. Tires obviously aren't, but everything else, I mean, the bumper's not, but it's a beautiful Jeep as well. Haven't quite put a price on this one yet. I've kind of gone back and forth on it. When it first came in, it was this price, and then we got it running. Driving, we checked the axles out. Everything has been inspected on this one versus like the orange one. Obviously, we just got in, we haven't done anything with it. This one we have a title for as well, although there is a tile delay on this one. And again, because we don't sell these whole very often, it's usually not a big deal, but because this one probably will be put up whole, there'll be possibly a wait on that unless it comes in. This one, 39,000 miles, okay? And obviously it's always hard to tell if that's been rolled over, but we did our due diligence when we bought this one and did check a few things on it to see if we could kind of validate that. And so far it does indicate, all indications do indicate that it is 40,000 miles, just under 40,000 miles. So it's got an iron duped 2.5 in it, which only came from 80 to 83. And we did have it running yesterday. They put some new fuel lines on it, fuel filter, and it got it fired up. Put a new starter in, that was broke. And yeah, that's about it. This is about the only rust that I can see in the whole tub right here. And it's just coming through, just starting to bleed through here. So, I don't think it's been lined. It's got a roll bar in it. This will probably come out. We'll probably just go back to factory unless we do sell it as is without really putting much effort into it, and then we'll just leave it alone. And I'm just showing you this because this is where we're seeing that bleed through, which has been lined, so it's hard to see. But good news is we're not seeing any holes back here. No, doesn't even look like any patchwork. So just starting to leach through right in that area, and that's a pretty common area. But nonetheless, if you were, I'd at least get in somewhat and get it out, treat it somewhat, or run it and just kind of, keep an eye on it. So, all right. So some really good inventory, regardless if we keep them whole or we part them out. I mean, obviously these are probably in 18 years the top 3 or 4, or definitely top 5 as far as CJ7 conditions we've got in. So Questions, comments, interests, anything like that, 303-666-9020. You can always email me, jeremy@partsbreakers.com. I'm usually slower to respond in email than I am just calling, but and that is a landline, so you won't be able to text it. But if you are interested in giving me a text or something, just give me a call first, and then I'll text you back from my work phone, and we'll go from there. All right? I appreciate it, and have a good day or a good week. It's Thursday, so almost done with the week.